We cashed massively on Underdog Fantasy yesterday, and guess what? There's no reason that we can't do it again today. So, again, what we're going to do is we're going to find 5 sharp picks on Underdog, and we're going to turn $250 into 5,000. At least that's the goal. Please gamble responsibly. But regardless, what makes OddsJam really unique is we really try to focus on the data, right? What sports betting strategies do the pros implement? Do the sharps implement, and what actually makes money? Because as shocking as it may be, the dude who watches highlight reels of Patrick Mahomes is not the guy who makes money sports betting, right? The people who do this full-time for a living are the people who have access to data, tools, and they're looking for an edge. Making money sports betting is not about knowing sports. It's about knowing how to find value inefficiencies in the market and be able to capitalize on them, right? So when I was a quant on Wall Street, everything was about data, and it's no different when you're a sports bettor. It's all about using data to inform your betting decisions and find sharp bets, right? So we've gone through this before, but essentially on Underdog Fantasy, in a 5-pick or a 3-pick entry, the implied odds that you're getting is minus 122. So you should assume in a 3-pick or a 5-pick entry on Underdog Fantasy, all of your plays are at minus 122 odds. And we can go through that math a bunch of times, if you'd like to. But we've done it in tons of other videos, so I'll just put them in the end screen. But long story short, Underdog Fantasy and Prize Picks as well, they don't vary payouts depending on if you select the over or the under, right? Any 2 picks you select on Underdog Fantasy or Prize Picks, you're getting 20 to win 60, 20 to win 40 in profit, plus 200 odds. So the implied odds you're getting, or the implied juice on player props in a 2-pick entry on Prize Picks and Underdog is going to be minus 137, right? Roughly, plus 200 odds, which is why you see on OddsJam, right here, is Underdog Fantasy for a 2-pick entry has implied juice of minus 137. Same with Prize Picks, right? But in a 3-pick entry on Underdog Fantasy, you are getting plus 500 odds, right? 20 to win 100 in profit, 20 to win 120 total. So the implied juice in a 3-pick entry is going to be minus 122. So you're getting a lot better, right? And in a 5-pick entry, you're getting plus 1900 odds. So it's still roughly minus 122. And Underdog Fantasy offers better payouts than Prize Picks, right? Because in a 3-pick entry on Prize Picks, you're only getting plus 400, which is minus 141 implied juice, which is why Underdog Fantasy is better than Prize Picks. They offer better payouts. They offer better prices, better odds. So I already gave out this pick previously in another video, so I'm going to skip over it. And the first play I have on our journey to winning 5K, because every single day you can win 5K, is going to be Nestor Cortez over 5.5 strikeouts. Okay, we're playing this in a 5-pick entry, 250 to win 5 grand. This is the first pick I have, right? I don't know anything about this guy. I definitely don't watch baseball. Definitely not watching baseball when I got to get ready for Sunday Night Football. So all I can tell you is this is an incredible betting opportunity because every bookmaker is pricing this from minus 147 to minus 158, right? So especially in a 3-pick or a 5-pick entry on Underdog, this play looks incredible. We're getting implied juice of minus 122. DraftKings has this minus 170. Caesars has this minus 161. And what we can do is essentially, kind of go through with a no vig odds calculator. What is every sports book, implying the true prices? And until you understand this concept, you'll never make money sports betting. Is you have to treat every single bookmaker as an independent data point on where the line for a bet should be set, right? So we're thinking about including this in our 3-pick entry at minus 122. It's a positive EV bet with a 4% profit margin. So basically you can blindly bet the EV page and you're going to make money. On Underdog Fantasy, the positive EV literally means mathematically profitable. So you're not going to win every bet. But what this tool just shows you is it scans Underdog Fantasy, the sports books, kind of everything, to show you where the value is, right? Where are the line discrepancies? Where are the sharp bets? And Nestor Cortez over 5.5 strikeouts at minus 122 is clearly a play, right? FanDuel's pricing this at minus 152. They have the under at plus 120. So if you remove the juice from FanDuel's market, the true odds to FanDuel is going to be minus 133. So FanDuel thinks that the true odds on Nestor Cortez over 5.5 strikeouts should be minus 133, right? Right here. So for every sportsbook, if you weight them all, we're going to be getting, better odds than the true price for a bet, right? It's essentially like if we knew a stock was going to be worth $5 at the end of the day, and we could buy it for $4.90 right now, right? We're getting a better price than what we know the true price should be. So we're using all the data in the market to back out, with the VIG removed, what do we think the true price is for this bet? So for Nestor Cortez, all the sportsbooks have the over heavily juiced. So the over is obviously a lot more likely to hit. But what we want to do is quantify how likely is it to hit. So Caesars, their market is minus 160, plus 110. So the true price, according to Caesars' model, is minus 130. We're getting minus 122. So once again, we're beating the true odds. DraftKings, minus 170, plus 125. So you can do this for every single sportsbook. True price, according to DraftKings, minus 142. So long story short, every sportsbook is telling us, hey, this bet on Underdog Fantasy is incredible. Hammer it, roid it. So we hammer it, right? Clear line discrepancy, clear value in the odds, and we're able to take advantage of the fact that Underdog Fantasy doesn't vary payouts, depending on if you select overs or unders, right? They're not varying payouts, depending on if you select overs or unders, right? Nothing changes in your payout if you go from over to under, right? Nothing changes. So that's why Underdog Fantasy is very exploitable. So the first 4 picks I have as an example, and we're just going to do 4 picks because the last one is a bit complicated, is we're getting on Underdog Fantasy for Kyle Freeland, under 3.5 strikeouts, Colton Wong, over half of a hit, Scantling, under 3.5 receptions, Cortez, over 5.5. We're getting 250 to win 2,500. On DraftKings, kind of as a counter, or like as a sense of what the line should be set at, we're only getting 250. Nope. We're only getting 250 to win 1,900. 1943, right? That would be our payout on DraftKings. So on Underdog Fantasy, our payout's like 25% higher for a 4-pick entry. If you were to just play a 4-pick entry with these 4 picks, which I think are all good. So we'll go through them briefly, then we'll get into the last pick. So Colton Wong to get a hit, pretty clear value. I mean, FanDuel literally has this minus 220. It's not like all these discrepancies are minus 145 versus minus 122. Like literally, this is 100 cents different than FanDuel. On FanDuel, you have to bet $220 on Colton Wong to get a hit to win 100 in profit. On Underdog Fantasy, the implied price is minus 122. Using data to inform your betting decisions, that's what you got to learn. Bet Online, very sharp offshore sportsbook, pricing this at minus 167. So we use all the data in the market to inform our betting decisions and see, kind of tease out that this is an opportunity to take advantage of Underdog Fantasy with a profitable pick. Scantling, under 3.5. Every sportsbook has the under heavily juiced. That means the under is a lot more likely to hit. Just logical, right? Just logical sports betting. That was play number 3. A.J. Brown, I already hit. Kyle Freeland, under 3.5 strikeouts. Really like this play. And then the last pick we're going to go through is a little complicated, but it's Austin Voth. And remember, it's free to browse odds with OddsJam, right? For any market, you get millions of odds, every sport, updating in real time, completely for free. How awesome is that? Completely for free, you get to browse odds. So Austin Voth, what you'll notice here is, wow, some sportsbooks like DraftKings have his line set at over under 2.5. Some sportsbooks have it at 3.5, right? Some sportsbooks have it at 3, Prize Picks. So it's a little more complicated, but the jump, right, when his strikeout total is already so low, like that jump from 2.5 to 3.5, you can see is over kind of the average on sportsbooks. Like he's more likely to go over 2.5. It looks like the average would be roughly minus 142 according to these sportsbooks. But the under 3.5 would kind of have an average odds of, minus 150. So you're going from the over being like minus 140 to the under being like minus 150 just for moving up a strikeout. Because the probability that Austin Voth has exactly 3 strikeouts is very likely. So we're using data from OddsJam to kind of like back out what do we think the good bet is, right? You can see North Star Bets has this all the way down at minus 167. Unibet, William Hill, all have it at minus 167. We can get under 3.5 in our Prize Picks entry. That's a hammer. So I hammered it, right? And that is our picks. There's no reason we can't win 5K today on this entry. There is still no reason. I love this entry. 4 MLB picks, 1 NFL pick. Let's make money.